Sydney Morning Herald reported the New South Wales state government's plan to build a 20-hectare open water fish farm 4 kilometres from the shore of a popular holiday town as a more sustainable source of seafood. However, there are some concerns in regards to the environmental impacts the fish farm will cause. So what effect exactly is the fish on your dinner plate having on our environment? Does integrated fish farming have a lower impact on our environment? Fish farming has been described as a more sustainable source of seafood. Fish populations have plummeted due to overfishing and unsustainable methods of fishing. Sydney Morning Herald says that the Department of Primary Industries has a 5-year project to erect up to 8 floating sea cages, all within a 500-metre stretch of water at Providence Bay near Hawke's Nest, and extend a hatchery research and trial new fishing production techniques, all whilst monitoring the environmental effects. The first of its kind in New South Wales, the cages could be up to 40 metres in diameter, as you can see behind me.
My organisation operates in the proposed trial waters. The plan will damage water quality and affect dolphins and migrating whales. Hectare after hectare of effluent chemicals, possibly disease-producing caged fish in a marine park in a migratory area for whales and transitory dolphins is a very poor use of marine park resource.
Clancy from University of Crete 2013 said that trace elements of heavy metals can be found in the sediment from fish farms, as the fish feed is richer in phosphorus, zinc and cadmium. These elements affect aquatic life in anoxic fine sediments and all sediment types. The prospects of this project could severely affect the biodiversity of surrounding waters. The project will potentially affect the marine habitat through changed water quality, nutrient concentrations and sediment. And chemical use, disease, impacts on migration paths and predatory interactions such as shark activity may all pose a small risk, but only disease-free fish will be stocked in the cages and chemical use will be kept to a minimum. Hormones may be used in the hatchery but will not be used on caged fish. The research will have a significant impact on the environment, and a plan has been devised to manage the environmental effects. Aquaculture leases attract sharks, but shark activity around the site is already high, so the department will erect nets around the site and monitor shark activity during the trial. The article "Fish Farm Will Pollute Marine Park," say critics, isn't overly reliable, but is conveying both negative and positive aspects of the main concepts. Some of the data, however, is not cited and concerns me in regard to the validity. The author doesn't have any background knowledge in the area of fish farming, and this may have assisted in reducing some bias, but means that she may have accepted some things without much consideration.
Some fish farms in China have attempted to maximise their income and reduce their environmental footprint. This integrated fish farm farms grass carp and silkworms, as many have for many years. The produced silk is another income, and the waste is fed to the fish. The fish is sold and is an income for the families. The silkworms eat mulberry leaves, and their waste is also used as fertiliser for the mulberry trees to grow. This also reduces their environmental footprint. Some mulberry leaves are fed to the grass carp, but when the cocoons are spun, the larvae pupa, that is very high in protein, are also fed to the fish. This graph represents the global aquatic organism harvest as reported by the Food and Agriculture Organization from 1950 to 2010. The x-axis represents the year's total harvest and the y-axis represents the harvest size in million tonnes. As you can see, the global harvest has steadily increased over the duration of the graph, but wild capture, represented in blue, began to remain around the 85 million tonnes per year from 1990 to 2010, with small peaks and troughs. Aquaculture production, represented in green, has continued to increase with the initial gradient, now over 160 million tonnes in 2010. Our seafood consumption continues to increase over time.
Open water fish farms can cause serious water pollution, affecting the health and well-being of the sea creatures and water quality. Cramped and crowded nets is the only sad life known by farmed fish.
So, will we soon run out of fish without utilising fish farms? And might we destroy our marine environment by polluting it with toxic waste produced by fish farms and end up in the same position? Integrated fish farms too produce effluent and pollute water quality. It isn't enough to protect our marine biodiversity. So, if you want to continue eating seafood, a better option would be to set up your own aquaponic system in your backyard, or better yet, choose to remove seafood from your diet in the best interest of our aquatic wildlife.